My name is Howard Duncan, and I'm the head of something called the Metropolis Project, which is a pan-Canadian, indeed virtually now a global initiative that tries to bring academic researchers, policy officials, and members of non-governmental organizations or service-providing organizations together to talk about the challenges involved with international migration, with growing population diversity, and some of the issues that President Runte has drawn to your attention. I certainly want to thank the organizers of this exciting new center at Carleton University for the opportunity to be with you today. Something that has made me especially happy is that for reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with policy concerning the Metropolis Project, there is no Metropolis Research Center in Ottawa. There are 5 Metropolis centers that are based in Halifax, Montreal, Toronto, Edmonton, and Vancouver. And although we have worked with researchers from Carleton University and from the University of Ottawa for years, for historical reasons that have nothing to do with any matters of principle, there's never been an established Metropolis Center here in the city of Ottawa. So I'm very pleased to know that Carleton University has taken this step, and that Carleton is reaching out to the University of Ottawa and St. Paul's University to try to create a firm and stable network of academics here in Ottawa. And what we'll try to do, we in the Metropolis Project will try to do, is find ways to incorporate the work that is done here at Carleton and at the University of Ottawa into the general discussion that we try to manage through the Metropolis Project. I completely agree with your president that the issues that we're going to be talking about today are of extraordinary importance. This is something that it's reiterated to me frequently. I've been with Metropolis for 12 years now, and I'm a government employee, and for a government employee to stay in a job for 12 years is kind of rare. And every time I think, oh my goodness, I'm finally bored with immigration, or I'm finally bored with diversity, something new happens, and all of a sudden the interest is back. And it strikes me that probably one of the key social policy issues facing Canada and facing most of the developed world today is diversity. And how it is that governments, how it is that our society generally is going to manage, think about diversity, I think is going to be one of the most important challenges facing Canada. And it's interesting, I grew up in Ontario. I did an undergraduate degree here at Carleton University, and I'm just amazed at the differences between now and 1975 when I left. Back when I was at Carleton, Carleton was an entirely white university, and everyone's hair was very much longer than it is now. This was the hippie era. But the diversity that is in this room, and I've been to Carleton a few times over the last little while, and the diversity that's on this campus is simply a reflection of what is going on in Canadian society. So I would like to applaud Carleton and the organizers of this new center for the work that they have done to put together this new center. So what we're going to do today is hear from a panel, and I was given speaking notes by the organizers, and in the speaking notes they refer to the panel as a distinguished panel. I didn't need notes to be told that this is a very distinguished panel. This is actually a superb way to launch this center today. The panel that we have assembled to give us an indication of the issues that we're facing. So I will simply read to you the introductions that I've been given for each of the panelists, and it'll give you a sense of the gravitas that we're going to be experiencing in just a couple of minutes. So our first panelist will be Abraham. Abraham, who is with the UNHCR, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. He is the UNHCR's representative in Canada, and someone that we have worked with on a number of occasions to our great benefit. And he's been with the UNHCR in Ottawa since 2008. Abraham brings with him over 30 years of experience in refugee work. After joining the UN Refugee Agency during the Indo-Chinese refugee crisis and the imminent exodus of Afghan refugees in 1979, Abraham has held a number of operational, management, and administrative positions at the agency's headquarters, as well as at a good number of their field offices. Most recently, Mr. Abraham served as the UNHCR's representative in Nepal from 2002 to 2007. He holds a dual major Master of Arts in Economics and Finance Management from Webster College in St. Louis and a Bachelor of Commerce from the University of Kerala in India. And he will present first. Our second presenter, who will speak also on refugee issues, though more confined to the Canadian context, I understand, is the equally distinguished Peter Schauer, who is the director of Refugee Forum, which is located at the Human Rights Research and Education Center at the University of Ottawa. So you can see already we've built in connections with the University of Ottawa. The Refugee Forum undertakes research and communications projects dealing with refugee law. Peter also teaches advanced refugee law at the law school at U of O. He is a former chairperson of the Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada and served as the Gordon F. Henderson Chair in Human Rights at the University of Ottawa. He has worked on refugee projects in Africa for both the UNHCR and Amnesty International, and is the author of Refugee Sandwich, Stories of Exile and Asylum, and most recently, Fast, Fair, and Final, Reforming Canada's Refugee System, which was published by the Maitre Foundation in September of last year. Our third presenter will be Dr. Chris Warswick, who's Associate Professor in the Department of Economics here at Carleton University, someone with whom we at Metropolis have worked for a very long time. Prior to moving to Ottawa, Chris was a faculty member for 4 years at the University of Melbourne. His main areas of research are labor economics and development economics, and a particular focus of his research is in the area of the economics of immigration, for which he is very, very well known in Canada and abroad. In 2008 and 2009, he was the priority leader for the economic and labor market integration priority area for the Metropolis project, and his published work includes articles in journals such as the Journal of Political Economy, Canadian Journal of Economics, the Journal of Human Resources, Canadian Public Policy, and the Economic Record. And twice, Chris has won the John Vanderkamp Prize for the best article in Canadian Public Policy. And our fourth speaker, going very local, is going to be Hindia Mohammed, another person with whom the Metropolis Project has worked a number of times. Hindia is the project director of the recently launched Ottawa Local Immigration Partnership, which involves many of the non-governmental service-providing organizations directed to helping immigrants settle into the Ottawa area. And prior to this new role, and it's a very new role for Hindia, she was the manager of the Immigrants Impact Area of the United Way of Ottawa, designing and implementing partnership and investment strategies for the integration of immigrants. She also has a social research background, having been the research director of the Social Planning Council of Ottawa, where she worked for 5 years. Her work has contributed to numerous community initiatives, including the International Trained Workers Project, the Ottawa Community Economic Development Network, the City for All Women Initiative, and the Multi-Faith Housing Initiative. So this is our panel, and it's a formidable panel indeed.